What's up, IGTV? Happy New Year. It's Matt. I just emptied out my closet for you, and I picked out the 5 pairs of training shoes that I cycle through to work out, film my workouts. Now, I know it's the time of year where a lot of people like to get into their resolutions and get back on track with their health and fitness journeys. And what's one more way to motivate yourself to get back into the swing of things when it comes to exercise? A new pair of kicks, baby. Nothing better than that. So I'm going to show you the 5 pairs of shoes that I go through day in, day out, week in, week out when it comes to training, the pros and the cons in my opinion, maybe why I purchased them, and my overall thoughts. This way you can kind of narrow down a potential training shoe for yourself. I'm going to start from the ones that I use the least amount now to the ones that I use the most. So, the ones that I use the least right now are these. These are Reebok Nanos, a little bit of an older version. They're still pretty fresh, clean. I do try to keep my shoes clean. I've always been a big fan of the Reebok Nanos because I think that they're a great shoe when it comes to support, where you can do any type of functional movement. You can lift in them, you can run in them, you can do hip movements with them just on the floor, no matter what the surface is. They've always been a great pair of shoes. That's the pro. The cons, the styles get wacky, the color options get really wacky, and despite of how great a shoe is, if it looks ugly or too funky, your boy ain't purchasing it. So I have I think these are about a year or two old. They have like a newer Reebok Nano model. Not my style, not my jam, so I didn't purchase them. And there's been some cool shoes that I've gotten since, so that's why these are starting to go further and further on the back burner, but they did get a good use out of them. I got good use out of them. But the Reebok Nanos, always check them out. Again, it depends on the style and the color options for me. But overall, it is a good training shoe. And usually you could catch some decent deals and discounts when it comes down to it. All right, number 4. That was number 5. Number 4. These are also Reeboks. And these are the JJ Watt sneakers. So you can see the JJ logo over there. Just thought that they were a really cool looking shoe. They were a little bit bigger for a training shoe than I normally would purchase, and that's actually one of the cons. It's a little too big and oversized, so not used to having such a higher training shoe. So I noticed that these were great when it came to weight training, but when it came to body weight hip movements or any type of cardiovascular endurance, wasn't the best shoe for that. But if you're looking for something when it came to the strength, you can check out the JJs. I know he just put out 3 series. Again, these are the 2s, but I use mine more or less for training days. If you work out with me, I have a program called Level Up, strictly strength training. A lot of times you'll see me in these kicks because it's a good supportive shoe. All right, number 3, Metcons. These are the Metcons Free. These are a little bit older, but these shoes are actually surprisingly, they've been one of my favorite training shoes. Shout out to my boy AJ West. He's the one that put me on to the Metcon Frees. I've always been a Metcon guy. The Nike Metcon shoes, that's definitely one that you want to check out when it comes to overall functional fitness. You can literally do anything. It's like the Nano, it's their main competitor, but they have different series, right? They have the Metcon Frees. They have another one, I think it's called like the Hyperflex or something like that. Tons of different like spin-offs from it. But the Metcon Frees have definitely been a great shoe to do anything with. One of the pros, I like how snug it is on my feet. So when I'm moving, I can feel the security. And these shoes have gotten a lot of use. So definitely check out what Nike's doing with the Metcons for those of you that are doing more functional training. Lastly, it's a tie. And I just got into this. It took me a long time to check these shoes out, and I like to do my research before I make a commitment. So I talked to a lot of other trainers, fitness professionals that have been rocking them, and I bought one pair, and within like a month or 2, I had to buy a second pair. That's how good they are. And these are the Noble Trainers. So they're very basic looking. I have a gray and a red pair, literally identical. It is just a Noble Trainer. They have trainers, they have runners, and this has been an amazing shoe. One of the downfalls with Noble, the con, they don't ever drop in price. They're always going to pay, I think it's $129, $130, something like that. They never go down. So you're always going to pay full price for the shoes. But If you're someone that is active often and you really mix up your workouts, these are great for lifting, they're great for running, they're great for literally anything. It's just a great overall shoe that you can wear day in and day out. Even as a physical education teacher, you'll catch me wearing these throughout the day teaching the students because I'm on my feet all day. It's a great shoe to wear even when you're on your feet and you want minimum support so that it almost feels like you're barefoot, right? So, what do all of these shoes have in common? They're all training sneakers. Notice that I didn't bust out one pair of running sneakers. Why? Because I don't run, right? I don't do running type of workouts. So, because I don't do running type of workouts, there's no reason for me to get running shoes. Running shoes have tons of support. Most running shoes, I should say. Tons of support to the point where it can actually do damage to your feet when you're doing specific movements. You're gonna get way less support when it comes to strength training. So it's almost dangerous to wear a running shoe, in my opinion, anytime you're doing strength training movement, because the support can make you off balance and that could lead to a risk of injury. Another reason that I'm not big on the running shoes is I notice when I'm doing a lot of agility-based movements, because there's so much support, that's when you start to twist an ankle. You might lose your balance and again, risk the chance of falling. So running shoes are great to wear if you're running or if you're on your feet all day or often. If you're doing basic cardiovascular movements, like you're doing squats, you're doing lunges, maybe you're jogging or running in place, jumping jacks, things like that, sure. But if you're really mixing it up, be careful with the running shoes just because you might have too much support where it can actually lead to damage. So now the choice is yours. If you want a shoe that has lots of options, Nike Metcon is going to be your go-to because of how many spin-offs they have off of the original pair. The best bang for your buck is going to be the Reebok Nano. Whenever it's released, if you wait a year, towards the end of the year, you can get a pair for anywhere between $40, $50, $60, and which is more than half off of the original price. In my opinion, when it comes to an overall high-quality training shoe, the Noble was a surprise for me. I couldn't believe how great and supportive the shoe was. There's a reason why the price doesn't go down. I think it's because it has a lot of great qualities when it comes to being safe when you're training. So those are what your boy's rocking. Those are the 5 pairs that I'm currently going through. Find a shoe that's gonna work best for whatever activity it is that you do. Find that level of support that you need. Make sure that it fits into your budget. And again, nothing better than a fresh pair of kicks, baby. Go pick up a pair. This way you can start 2021 on the right foot, no pun intended. So go treat yourself so that you can continue to stay motivated to start the new year. And let's make 2021 epic. See you guys soon.